the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2, in conjunction with Colfax High School, presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening, and welcome to the NLWN2 studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight, the Colfax Vikings are getting ready to take on the Amery Warriors. The Vikings are going to try to right the ship following their 100-58 loss to the Somerset Spartans 1 week ago. Tonight's game is the season opener for the Amery Warriors, who are looking to improve their performance from their 6-19 season last year. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Amery Warriors and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Noel's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back to Viking pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's game between the Amery Warriors and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are eager to get back on track following the disappointment of last Tuesday's loss to the Somerset Spartans. Now, in that game against Somerset, the Vikings were led in scoring by 5'9" senior Elijah Ensminger, who hit 11 of 20 field goals, including 3 three-pointers, and went 4 for 8 from the free throw line for 29 points. He was followed by 5'11" junior Aiden Fisher with 7 points, and Eli Ralph and Logan Swartz each added 6. The Viking rebounding was balanced. Leading the way were Fisher, Theo Hovde, and Orion Nichols, who each pulled down 5 boards, and they were followed by Ensminger, Ralph, and Schwartz, who each grabbed 4. Now, the Amery Warriors play in the Middle Border Conference. Tonight is their season opener, and they very much want to build upon last season's 6-19 record and advance further in the WIAA playoffs following their 95-52 loss to Somerset in last year's WIAA regionals. They'll need to replace 5 players who graduated from last year's team. The Warriors do return some strong talent, including their leading scorer from last season in Carter Woolen, who averaged over 27 points per game. He was also their top rebounder last season, averaging over 8 boards per game. Look for Caleb Danielson and Joey Thorsheim and Blake Anderson to make strong contributions in scoring. Also look for Danielson, Anderson, and Seth Whalen to battle on the boards. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Mark Noel on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Here's Grandma Florence after that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again on Coach's Corner, we're talking with Viking boys head coach Mark Noel. And Coach, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, what I call the 3 Fs, and that's food, family, and fun.
There was definitely a lot of all three of those.
Good. Well, now it's time to get back to basketball. And, Coach, last week the Vikings opened the season against a really tough and tall Somerset Spartans, and the Vikings dropped that opener 100-58. Now, when a team takes a loss like that, it does provide some learning opportunities for the team. What are some of the areas that the Vikings have been able to learn from?
I think we learned, obviously, we were learning a lot in that game. With that said, we learned the intensity level that you have to play with, the physicality you have to play with, the intensity you have to play with, the spacing you have to play with, and then the execution that you have to play with. And we kind of hammered that home in our couple practices here and trying to, one big thing that maybe people don't realize is that we, obviously Somerset is a very talented team, good size. They're going to be one of the top two teams in the middle border. And they have two players that for sure are college basketball players. And then, like you said, they had great size. But for Colfax, for our team, we only had one player that started a varsity game before. So we had four guys that started their first ever varsity game. And so I think we were full of nervousness.
Now, when a game occurs that's that lopsided, the old adage is the winning team isn't as good as the score indicated and the losing team isn't as bad as the score indicated. And in a lopsided game like that, were there any positives that you could take away from that game?
Well, first of all, I would agree with that statement. Sometimes I wouldn't, but this time I actually do feel like we are a better team than what we showed. We were full of nervousness and just weren't ready to play. With that said, I think moving forward, we're going to just keep stacking practices on top of each other and just keep getting better. And we will see that, but it's going to take time with this team.
And, of course, the goal is make sure you're playing your best basketball at the end of the season.
Correct. And that is always a goal. And I think, this season, in this first kind of maybe half of the season, we're going to do a lot of learning and getting better. You're going to see a little bit of everything at times. We play a super, super tough non-conference schedule. We've got, I don't even know how many teams against teams that are twice our size, school enrollment-wise. But that's okay. That's going to make us tougher. If we're gonna get better, let's get thrown into the fire and see what we're made of.
Well, tonight the Vikings are going to take on the Amery Warriors, and that's a team that the Vikings defeated in a nail-biter 62-61 last season. What can you tell us about this year's Warriors and any challenges that they present?
Well, they have 6 of their top 8 back from last year. So that's a positive for them. And one of the biggest ones is Carter Wallen, about 6'3" point guard. He averaged 27.5 points a game last year. He's considered one of the top juniors in the state, like top 20 in the state. So people that come and see him play are going to see one of the better players in the area and the state. He can shoot it from wherever he would like to. We're going to have our hands full trying to slow him down. You're not going to stop a kid like that. We just have to try to slow him down and make him shoot as many tough shots as possible. And then those other kids, they've got great size. There's 6 that are coming back. 4 of them are 6'3". So they've got great size on their team.
So you're going to have to use your quickness and ball handling skills and kind of find the road through the mountains.
Yes, we will. And we're just going to, I like, our ability to shoot the 3. And we maybe didn't show that strength the other day. I think we were 5 for 20, against Somerset. But I know that in most of our games, we're going to shoot better than that.
Well, Coach Noel, good luck on tonight's game. And hopefully the Vikings can turn things around and come away with a win.
Thank you, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Go Vikings.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Viking boys are looking to get back on the winning track as they take on the Amery Warriors. Now, on the other hand, the Warriors would like to get this season off on the right foot and improve on last season's 6-19 record. The only other action in the Dunn St. Croix Conference, in addition to the Vikings' non-conference loss to Somerset, was a non-conference win by the Boyceville Bulldogs over Independence Gilmanton by the score of 66-31. Now, last season, the Vikings traveled to Amery, where the Vikings edged out the Warriors 62-61, and the Vikings would sure like to repeat that result tonight. So the stage is set for some exciting boys high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. In just a moment, we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where our broadcast crew is ready to bring you all the action of tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Amery Warriors. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because
I felt like a failure.
and then I realized like there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine, but if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Viking Boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Stay tuned, coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Colfax Viking Boys Basketball is on the air.
He'll pass it out to Blake Johnson. He'll take the shot for three. Vikings.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN2, is excited to bring you Colfax High School Boys Basketball.
Swinger down inside to Hoffman. He'll drive the right side of the lane, pop it up from 6. Good.
Join us as we follow the Vikings while they battle their way through the Dunn St. Croix Conference.
Charlo out to Ensminger for 3. He hits it!
And now out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking basketball.
Good evening and welcome to the Colfax High School gym, where the Amery Warriors are in town for the Colfax boys' second game. Just got done watching an exciting JV game where Amery edged the Vikings by a score of 44-43. I'm Jay Fall, here with Dan Petshaw and Chris Olson, set to bring you tonight's action. And warm-ups winding down here. We will have action very shortly. We will take a break and get back to the starting lineups and that sort of thing. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Banking on relationships.
If you spent the summer putting off home improvement projects, don't worry. Dairy State Bank can help. Whether you're planning to add on, winterproof, or repair storm damage, we can help you with the financing. For more information, visit dairystatebank.com or give us a call today. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Dairy State Bank.
Welcome back to Colfax High School. We will be having the national anthem and the introduction of the starting lineups. And we will take you courtside for that.
Would everyone please stay at the table, remove your hats, and place your hand over your heart to honor the flag as the national anthem is played. Welcome to Colfax High School for tonight's non-conference boys basketball matchup between the Amery Warriors and your Colfax Vikings. Introducing the starters of the Warriors. Number 2, junior Carter Wolin. Number 4, junior Caleb Danielson. Junior Blake Anderson. Number 13, junior Joseph Horsheimer. And number 22, freshman Ethan Bullen. And now the starting lineup for your Colfax Vikings. Number 6'2", Aiden Fisher.
So we are ready to go here at Colfax. Vikings in home white. Red numerals and trim. They are going to go left to right as we look on here. The Warriors. And now we have the sportsmanship reading. Amery Warriors are in red with black and white numerals trim. Colfax getting set up here. Vikings looking to rebound from last Tuesday night's tough one with Somerset. Ball goes into the air, and it is tapped to Amery's Keaton Wolin. He'll give it to Carter Wallen, and we're underway across the timeline. Driving on Ensminger. Drives in with a layup on the right side for two. Amery up 2-0. Vikings bring it back up the floor from the backcourt. It is Fisher. Fisher drives to the left, bounces it inside to Nichols. Fisher gets it back, drives in, puts in a layup left side. We're tied at 2. Amery now with a shot at it. They bring the ball up the floor. Stop free throw line right, then in the lane, out in the far corner goes to Carter Wallen. He puts up the 3 ball, no good, rebounded by Colfax's Eli Ralph. To Fisher, down in the corner to Nichols. Nichols drives in, waits, and he puts in a bucket. Vikings up 4-2. Keaton Wallen dribbling for Amery between the wheels. Fires off to his left to Borsheim. Ends up down along the baseline. Caleb Danielson takes a shot, and he is fouled on the way up. It looks like he's going to go to the line for 2. First foul of the night is charged to Elijah Ensminger, number 10 for the Vikings. Colfax 4, Amery 2, 16:53 remaining in the first half. As we are on the free throw line, or Amery's on the free throw line shooting 2. First one does not go. Bounces off the back iron, big. Ensminger out on top. Talking to one of the officials. Second one, that one doesn't go either. Fighting for the rebound is Fisher. And Fisher driving the lane, turns, fires it off to Ralph. Ball stolen away. Wallen taking it, Carter Wallen taking it up the floor for Amery. Carter passes to Keaton Wallen. Keaton driving in. Off the iron, no good. Rebounded by Aiden Fisher. Fisher up the floor for the Vikings. Fisher for 3. Around the rim, nope. Rebounded by Keaton Wallen. Keaton, free throw line right, takes it to the top. He'll fire it up the floor to Blake Anderson. Back up to Keaton Wallen.
Colfax and man.
Wallen up high in the left wing. Vikings with a man-to-man defense. Up on the left side, Carter Wallen for 3. Bounces off big. Eli Ralph with a rebound. Gets it out to Orion Nichols. In the floor to Fisher. Back in the middle to Mason Yarrington. Yarrington on the left wing. He'll fire it back to Ralph. Ralph out to Fisher. Fisher dumps it off to Ralph. Ralph outside. Mason Yarrington for 3. Bounces around. No, Ralph gets the rebound but falls to the floor. Taken by Anderson. Up the floor it goes to Caleb Danielson. He fires it over the top. And Mason Yarrington up the court for the Vikings. Stops free throw line right. He'll dribble it into the middle. Give and go to Ensminger. Ensminger toward the near corner. Drives the lane now, and he got too close to the end line.
I think we got a foul.
Let's see, there's going to be a foul. That is going to be a foul charge to number 2 of Amery. That's Carter Wallen. That's his first. 1 team foul apiece. Ball's handed off to Nichols. He'll toss it in for the Vikings. Nichols into Ensminger for 3. Bounces off. Rebounded by Amery's Carter Wallen. Or check that. That's Caleb Danielson. Wallen going in, and he is bumped on the way in by Eli Ralph. So that's going to send him to the line for 2 free throws. Colfax 4, Amery 2. Just under 15 minutes left here in the first half. First free throw up and in. And one more free throw for him. Back up top. That one rolls out no good, but it's reloaded underneath And I believe that is Amery's Keaton Wallen. 22 scored that one. 5-4 Warriors. Yarrington, top of the wheel. Dribbling out top. Gonna let it fly to Fisher on the pass back to Yarrington. Brings the 3-ball. 7-5 Colfax. 14 and a half minutes left. Keaton Wallen driving in for the Warriors. Pops it up from the lane. Bounces out. Rebounded by Ralph. Ralph to Ensminger down on the floor. It's near the mid-stripe on the far side. Give and go out to Fisher. Fisher for 3. And is almost lands up on top behind the backboard, but it bounces out of there. No basket, and Amery's going to take it over. 14:07 left, first half. It's Colfax 7, Amery 5. Back and forth between Thorsheim and Wallen, Keaton Wallen. In the middle it goes to Keaton Wallen. Out to Carter. Carter makes a move, pulls back, three-point shot missed. Reload up in on the right side. That goes over the top by Danielson. And Ralph will come up with a rebound for the Vikings. Ensminger at the center jump circle to set things up for Colfax. He'll drive the right side of the lane. Toss it up, shot no good. Ball knocked back in by Amery. Warriors will bring it up the floor. That's Keaton Wallen, and he'll drive in for a layup. And we are tied at 7. 13:20 remaining, first half. Driving in, Fisher. Fisher up from the baseline, miss. Ralph trying to get the rebound. I think he's going to get called for the foul. Kind of going around his head there.
That should be on Eli Ralph, number 33, is second.
13:15 left, first half. Flipped into Carter Wallen. He's guarded by Colfax's Theo Hubdy. 2-on-2. Down in the corner, pass goes out to Sam Strike. Up underneath, shot too hard, miss, goes out of bounds, going back to Amery. Or Amery keeping it. Under 13 minutes to go in the first half, tied at 7. Colfax Vikings and the Amery Warriors from Colfax. Eliot down on top to Carter Wallen. He'll take the three-pointer, top of the key, missed, and knocking it out of there, trying to is Logan Schwartz. And he gets the ball to Ensminger. He'll bring it out of the backcourt. Ensminger across the timeline. Heads to free throw line, extended right corner of the lane, up, drains it. Colfax up 9-7. Approaching 12 and a half minutes remaining in the first half. Keaton Wallen over on the far side, drives toward the free throw line. Fires it back over to Strike then. Wallen back to Carter Wallen on the give and go. Hubby guarding him. Dashes it out in the corner to Keaton Wallen. Keaton Wallen driving in. Makes a move off the glass. No good. It's rebounded by Orion Nichols. Quickly down the floor trying to get it to Ensminger. It is going back to the Warriors. Just under 12 minutes to go in the first. 9-7. Colfax just out in front of Amery. Keaton Wallen across the C in the center of the floor. Out to Strike. Down to Carter Wallen. He lets it fly for 3. Missed. Stolen away by Hubdy for Colfax. Hubdy to Ensminger. Ensminger dribbling. Top of the key. 3 ball. Front iron. No. Rebounded by Keaton Wallen. Keaton Wallen to Carter Wallen. Carter Wallen going up, shot short, and Hubby there again for the boards. Ensminger will move it toward the left wing. Now in between the jump circle and key. Ensminger give and go out to Fisher. Fisher off in the corner, it goes to Nichols. Back to Fisher. Weaving on the right side. Ensminger comes to help out. Ensminger's going to drive in. Fall-away jumper from 10. He was fouled on the way up. He's going to the free throw line for a pair. And that one is going to be charged to Joey Thorsheim, number 13. That's his first and Amery's second. Elijah Ensminger up. No good on the first. Ensminger with that second one rolls out as well. It's rebounded by Carter Wallen. Carter Wallen to Keaton Wallen. Drive in the lane. Keaton Wallen, layup on the right side. What's the Warriors, or we have things tied up again, 9-9. Fisher out near the Viking. Out to the top of the key to Hovde. Back out to Fisher. Fisher for three, missed. Rebounded by Sam Strike. They fire it down the floor to Golden Anderson. And he's called for traveling. I got to use a lot of first names here because there's three men on the Amery squad with the last name pronounced Wallen. And there's two Andersons.
Yeah. That'll keep us hopping tonight.
That's right. I got to pay attention. Driving in, it is Ensminger, goes up in the land of the Giants and draws a shooting foul. He'll go to the line for two. Approaching 10 minutes left here in the first half, and we are tied 9-9. Amery and Colfax. Elijah Ensminger, the 5'9 senior, on the line for the Vikings, sends the first one up and in. Start making your plans to tune into either the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN TV for our Christmas gift to you 2023. Bringing the finest in Christmas-themed old-time radio programs. That's Christmas Eve beginning at 7 p.m. on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. And it looks like we have a lane violation on Theo Hovde, so looks like they're not counting the second one, so it's 10-9 still Colfax. Keaton Wallen with the line right to Strike. To Carter Wallen from the corner, back into Keaton Wallen. Keaton Wallen, top of the key, missed. It's rebounded by Logan Schwartz.
We got a foul.
And he is fouled by Seth Wallen.
His second.
9:45 left to go here in the first half. And we have a timeout on the floor. Colfax 10, Amery 9. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Austin and Nikki Pritchard are just what the doctor ordered. In fact, they are the doctors and they're ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
Welcome back to Colfax non-conference Colfax Viking Boys Basketball action against the Amery Warriors. I'm Jay Fall here with Dan Petshaw. Chris Olson's our camera operator tonight, and executive producer Rick Olson's here as well. Across the timeline, that's Hovde for the Vikings. Vikings, pass goes to Nathan Yarrington. Grabs it, he'll feed it off to Ensminger. Yarrington will head down to the corner. Ensminger pops it up from 12 and good. Vikings lead 12-9 over Amery. Bringing it up the floor's Keaton Wallen. Wallen drives left side of the lane, pops it up from 7. Miss, ball tipped out of there. Ensminger gets the rebound. Ensminger, a little bit of ahead of it there. He'll one-hand pass to Yarrington, then down inside to Schwartz. Back out to Yarrington from the free throw line. Bounces around. No, rebounded by Amery's Carter Wallen. Carter Wallen driving on Theo Hubdy. Pass goes out to Thorsheim. And Thorsheim puts in the three-pointer to tie things up at 12. 8:38 remaining, first period, first half. Ensminger, two guys on him. Ensminger feeds 20. That's Orion Nichols, tries a layup on the right side. It gets blocked out of bounds. Colfax is going to keep it. Elijah Ensminger leading Colfax with 12, and we have another timeout on the floor. 8:27 to go first half. 12 all between Colfax and Amery. You're watching Colfax Vikings Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Vikings to toss it in underneath their own basket. 8:27 to go first half. Fisher alley-oops it out on top to Hubdy, zings it out to Ensminger. Ensminger, a 20-footer, gets rolls off, no good. Keaton Wallen, give and go to Danielson. Back to Keaton Wallen, slips backwards a little bit, has to pass down in the corner to Anderson. He puts it up and in. Amery back in the lead, 14-12, 8 minutes to go first half. Ensminger driving the arch on the far side. Back to Hubdy. Hubdy between the circles. Now drives the right side of the lane off to Yarrington. 3-ball attempt. No good. Rebounded by Carter Wallen. Wallen buzzes by Hubdy and puts in a layup on the right side. Amery up 16-12. Approaching 7.5 minutes remaining first half. As Fisher pops it up, in and out, no good. Rebounded by Carter Wallen of Amery. Carter Wallen to Keaton Wallen. Keaton Wallen out on the left side. And he'll put it up for three. Missed. Rebounded by Ensminger. Ensminger drives the right side of the lane, scoops it around and out. No good. And the ball tipped back to Anderson. Couple decent shots, just not falling for the Vikings. Carter Wallen out free throw line right to Sam Strike. Down underneath it to Strike, misses a layup. Reload goes up and in for Carter Wallen.
7 points for Wallen. Carter Wallen, that is.
35 remaining first half. Caleb Danielson. Back to Yarrington, free throw line left. Out to Ensminger. Ensminger pops it up. Two-pointer. Elijah Ensminger on a nice 13-foot jumper.
Ensminger is 7.
18-14 Amery. Approaching 6 minutes left here in the first half. Keaton Wallen. Then down inside to Carter Wallen. Puts it up, missed, reload, too hard, and over the top and getting the boards, Logan Schwartz. Schwartz to Fisher. Fisher on the line, over to Hubdy. Hubdy, give and go out to Ensminger. Hubdy gets it back in front of the Amery bench. Back to Fisher. Fisher layup on the left side, missed. Getting the rebound is Schwartz trying to get it out of there. It's blocked by Amery. Warriors bring it up. Keaton Wallen is going to be called for traveling. His feet came out from under him. The official now down there looking to see what's going on down there.
That could be a little.
Doesn't appear to be any moisture. It's just the momentum that carried him. And the inbounds throw is stolen away right up and in by Joey Thorsheim.
Colfax got caught sleeping.
Yarrington back to Ensminger. They'll try it again. Amery up by 6. Ensminger from the corner of the lane. Swish! Colfax pulls back to within 6, or within 6, 20-14. Now up and off the glass. Amery, Keaton Wallen.
Pretty move by Keaton Wallen. He's got 8 points.
And that shot hangs up there, doesn't go. It's rebounded by Seth Wallen. Back out on top, it goes to Keaton Wallen. Back out to Anderson. And a shot between the jump circle and key miss. Rebounded big by Hubby of Colfax. Driving in Ensminger for the Vikings. He will draw a foul. 22-16 is the score. Amery up by 6. .4:19 remaining first half. Elijah Ensminger's first free throw doesn't go. He will get a second on the shooting foul, and he makes that one. Vikings pulled to within 5. Amery Warriors 22. Colfax Viking Boys 17. As coming up the floor with it is Keaton Wallen. Fires it out on the far side to Carter Wallen, who will put in the basket on the right side.
Yeah, quick step there by Wallen to get to the hole.
Ensminger with the ball for the Vikings. Off the give and go from Fisher. Ensminger pops it up from 12 around the rim. Doesn't go. Rebounded by Blake Anderson of the Warriors. Blake Anderson to Carter Wallen. Wallen tries a layup, tries to push it back in on the left side and draws a foul on the way up. .341 left. First half. And Carter Wallen to shoot. First one up. Rolls around and down.
Fouls at number 20, Ryan Nichols. His first. 14 foul for the Vikings.
Carter Wallen with the second. That one bounces off. It's rebounded by Danielson. Back to Carter Wallen. Then outside to Keaton Wallen. He'll put it up and in off the center. And Amery's up by 10, 27-17, 3:27 remaining here in the first half. Three-point attempt, catches front iron, no good. Carter Wallen rebounds it for Amery. Carter Wallen from Keaton Wallen. And Colton Warren puts it up for the hoop, no good. Rebounded by Orion Nichols for Colfax. Quickly left the floor to Mason Yarrington. That three-pointer missed, rebounded by the Warriors' Keaton Walton. Wallen. Fall away from 8, makes it.
Keaton Wallen with 12 points.
2:45 left first half. Vikings. Fisher in the corner, no one to pass it to. He'll get it to Nichols. Nichols will drive in and put in the layup on the left. 29-19, Amery. And it is Keaton Wallen between the jump circle and the key. Fires to Carter Wallen. Keaton gets it back. Across the floor it goes to Seth Wallen, and he will put it in. Or check that. That is Joey Thorsheim. And we have another timeout on the floor. 2:08 remaining first half. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, Let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Join us on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV this Thursday night, November 30th, as the Viking girls will host the Bloomer Blackhawks. Viking pregame begins at 6:40 with live play-by-play to follow. That's Viking girls basketball Thursday night. Inbounds to Yarrington, back to Ensminger to set things up. 2 minutes left in the first half. Pass fired into Fisher. Fisher will drive in, pop it up from 7, and pull the Vikings a little closer, 32-21. Driving in for Amery, it's Keaton Wallen, misses the shot. He'll get his own rebound. He'll put it up and in and get the basket.
A good second effort by number 22, Keaton Wallen. He has 14 points. Five team fouls for the Vikings.
Free throw. Keaton Wallen, good. 35-21 Amery. Minute 40 to go here in the first half. Give and go to Yarrington. To Ensminger. Up high in the right wing at the Viking. Ensminger drives up high to the left, back to Yarrington. Minute 22 to go. Out to Hovde. Hovde driving the arch. Goes out to Fisher. Fisher give and go to Hovde. Hovde going to move in. Bounces it over on the left side. Shot by Logan Schwartz. Goes over the top. And Amery will bring it down again. Keaton Wallen to Carter. Carter drive it in. And we're going to have a foul called on Theo Hovde. 52 seconds left. Amery with the ball underneath their own basket. It's Blake Anderson. Anderson gets it in to Strike. He'll alley-oop the pass back to Carter Wallen. He'll take it from 19. Rolls off, no good. Elijah Ensminger. He'll take it for a three-point shot. Deflected short. Amery bringing it up the floor again. It's Carter Wallen. Wallen out to 13. Joey Thorsheim for 3. 38-21. And now the ball gets away from Fisher and goes into the backcourt out of bounds. It's going to go back to Colfax. So coming back to throw it, it'll be Aiden Fisher. 17.3 seconds remaining. First half, 38-21 Amery. In the backcourt, Elijah Ensminger. Ensminger out on top to Yarrington. Yarrington for 3, catches the front iron. Back out to Schwartz, to Yarrington. Yarrington catches the back iron, and time expires. And at the end of the first half, the Amery Warriors lead the Colfax Vikings by a score 38-21. We invite you now to stay tuned for halftime programming, and then we'll be back shortly with the second half of action. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Hey, boss. Okay?
I said I'm fine.
Me the bed, see you in the morning. With the first did Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it.
You can talk to me.
It's been really hard for you.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Elijah Ensminger, who is a senior here at Colfax High School. And Elijah, we know you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Yeah, I did baseball last year.
Okay, and how did that go?
Went pretty well.
All right. Now, when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience have you had with it?
Started playing basketball around like 4th, 5th grade, and it's been a good experience.
Now, what's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
Being able to talk.
Okay. All right, so when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I like to hunt and work a little bit too, and then that's about it.
Okay. All right, couple rapid fire questions for you. You know these are coming. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
Which kind?
Probably vanilla.
All right, you can do anything with that.
Yep.
All right. Hot dog, burger, or brats?
I'm going to have to go with the burger.
And what do you want on that burger?
Probably bacon and cheese.
Bacon and cheese. Okay, a bacon cheeseburger. That sounds really good. Favorite color?
Probably blue.
Is there a reason for that?
I don't know. Just probably, I don't know why.
You just like it?
Yeah, I just like it.
That's as good a reason as any. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that might be?
Probably to teleport.
Oh, being able to teleport. Okay. Now, if you have that power to teleport, you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what's Elijah's superhero name?
Teleporting E.
Teleporting E. Okay. Favorite NBA team?
Probably the Bucks.
And favorite collegiate team?
Badgers.
All right. Is there a basketball player who has kind of inspired the way you play your game? And that can be at any level of the game.
I like Luka Doncic. He's just really good. And he's not like really good at one thing, and he just uses what he's good at to help him.
Okay, now we're talking with Elijah Ensminger today on Viking Profile. And Elijah, what are your plans for after high school?
Probably either go to CVTC or just get a job right out of high school and continue to work.
Okay, how about a shout out to the family?
Thanks, Mom and Dad, for everything you do.
Now, when people come and watch Viking games, what number do you wear, and where are they going to find you on the floor?
Number 10, and probably running up and down the floor.
Okay. All right. We want to thank Elijah Ensminger for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcast Network.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Coming out of the first half, it's Amery 38, Colfax 21. Dan, let's take a look at the details on the numbers.
Yeah, here's the scores for Amery. Their leading scorer is number 22, Keaton Wallen. He has 15 points, followed by Carter Wallen. He has 11, and Joey Thorsheim has 11. And Blake Anderson has 2. For the Colfax Vikings, they're led right now by number 10, Elijah Ensminger. He has 10 points, followed by Aiden Fisher. He has 4. Ryan Nichols has 4, and Mason Yarrington has 3. 38-21.
And Amery Warriors coming back on the floor here. We'll also remind you that we'll be with the Colfax boys on Thursday, November 30th, this coming Thursday. Vikings travel to Bloomer to take on the Blackhawks. Viking pregame begins at 6:40. Live play-by-play to follow. That is Thursday night. We'll be back with the second half. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
So after tonight, the next games for the boys and girls Colfax Vikings will be Thursday night. We'll be with the boys here on NLWN2, and the girls will be here at home, and you'll be able to see them on NLWN and also the Northern Light Webcasting Audio Network. Both teams getting ready for the second half here. The Warriors will be moving left to right, and the Vikings right to left. (38-21). The Warriors lead the Vikings. Start, and we will have Amery the Vikings start with the ball. Ryan Nichols is going to throw it in right in front of us, sort of. He'll bounce it into Aiden Fisher or throw it in. We're underway in the second half. Fisher driving left to right, gets it into Ensminger, goes up, shot blocked. And it rolls off a Warrior, and they're going to let it go off the Warriors out of bounds, so Colfax will keep it on their end. From the far corner, tossing it in for the Vikings, who'll get it in to Ensminger. Ensminger will take it from the sidelines, bounces off big, trying to get the rebound is Ralph, and ends up tapping it to the Warriors. Amery brings it up the floor. It's Anderson. near the jump circle. We'll toss it back to Keaton Wallen. Down underneath, he'll try to get a pass over to Carter Wallen. And ball gets knocked out of bounds by goes off Mason Yarrington. Amery to toss it in. Dumped out in the far corner, goes out to Danielson in the middle of Keaton Wallen. Wallen between the wheels, fires off to the right to Thorsheim. Thorsheim back and forth with Anderson on the near side. Now into the middle, making a move on Ensminger. Now the pass is going to go out to Anderson. He'll try the three-point ball, miss. Tipped, and it goes into the arms of Eli Ralph. Ralph to Ensminger, up the floor to Yarrington. Ensminger makes a move, pops up the three-pointer, missed. Rebounded by Amery is Blake Anderson. Anderson to Carter Wolin. He'll drive in for a layup on the left side. And it's 40-21 Warriors. Ensminger now down on the far side. Loses the ball. Yarrington tries to help out. Out to Fisher. Fisher driving in, and we're going to have a foul charged on the Warriors. That's going to be against Keaton Wallen. Vikings to toss it in, trying to get it to Yarrington. Goes off of his fingertips, out of bounds. Amery will get it back. 16:22 left in the ball game. 40-21 Amery. Inbounds, it goes in to Carter Wallen, back out to Thorsheim. Thorsheim off on the right to Anderson. Cross court to Danielson. Danielson tries to get it in, knocked away by Ralph. Then coming in to steal Carter Wallen. Carter Wallen back with a three-point shot, rolls around, out, no good. Keaton Wallen gets it. Yarrington trying to scurry for the rebound, and over the top of two Warriors, or Vikings, tipping it in for Amery is Keaton Wallen on the left side.
Keaton Wallen has 17.
Now driving in, it's Fisher. Carter Wallen dishes it back to Keaton Wallen. Keaton Wallen out to Thorsheim. Thorsheim up from the free throw line. No good. Ralph fighting for their rebound. And coming up with it is Anderson for Amery, out to an open Wolin. And Carter Wolin drains the two-pointer, 45-21. Approaching 15 minutes remaining, and a timeout on the floor. A full timeout called by Amery. 15-11 to go, second half, 45 Amery, 21 Colfax. You're watching Colfax Vikings Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining?
Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Doctors Austin and Nikki Pritchard and their staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
Start making your plans to tune in to either the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN TV for our Christmas gift to you, 2023. We'll bring you the finest in Christmas-themed old-time radio programs. That's Christmas Eve beginning at 7 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Next game for both the boys and girls against the Bloomer Blackhawks. Boys on the road, will be with them at Bloomer. Girls here at home. You can see that on NLWN TV and hear it on the Northern Lights Webcasting audio service. And the boys game will be on NLWN TV, or NLWN 2. Backwards pass goes into the backcourt to Ensminger, and he'll cross the timeline with it for Colfax. Give and go out to Nichols. Nichols trying to driving in, out to Yarrington. Yarrington up for three, catches the back iron and over the top.
Yeah, that's one thing this year. Mason Yarrington. That's one thing this year. Mason Yarrington's starting out a little slow. He's got to get in rhythm the rest of the season.
Keaton Wallen over to Carter Wallen, and that shot missed. Ensminger brings it up the floor for Colfax. Ensminger makes a move, goes up, shot blocked, and that is blocked by Blake Anderson of Amery. He'll fire it up the floor to Carter Wallen from the far corner, draining the three-pointer, Blake Anderson. 48-21 Warriors. Aiden Fisher, give and go to Nichols. Fisher for three. Approaching 14 minutes to go in the ball game. 48-24, Amery doubled up on Colfax. Carter Wallen driving in, scoop layup missed. Pulled off the boards by Nichols. Nichols to Ensminger, back to Nichols. And Nichols took a step before he dribbled the ball, so it's going back to Amery. Throwing it in for the Warriors. Carter Wallen. Well, that's Seth Wallen. To Carter. Out in the far corner, it goes to Keaton Waller, and he'll miss the shot, and the pass dumped into the hands of Caleb Fisher, and going in for the layup, Ensminger. And Colfax wants a full timeout now. 13:22 remaining, second half. Amery 48, Colfax 26. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
Banking on relationships.
If you spent the summer putting off home improvement projects, don't worry, Dairy State Bank can help. Whether you're planning to add on, winterproof, or repair storm damage, we can help you with the financing. For more information, visit dairystatebank.com or give us a call today. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Dairy State Bank.
Carter Wallen to throw it in for the Amery Warriors. Into Joey Thorsheim. Thorsheim between the circles, looks left, and it's going to toss it right to Keaton Wallen. Inside, then out wide open in the far corner. That is Joey Thorsheim draining the three-pointer. 51-26 Amery. 13 minutes left in the ball game. On the left side, it goes to Ensminger. Ensminger drives, goes up, and puts in a layup on the left side. Up the floor, it is Thorsheim. Thorsheim to Carter Wallen. Down to Strike, back to Carter. Up to Thorsheim. Free throw line left goes out to Keaton Wallen. Feeds it into Seth Wallen. He'll go up, in on the right side, and fouled. He's going to get 2 free throws out of the deal.
Fouls on number 20, Orion Nichols. His third.
So shooting is Seth Wallen. And misses the first free throw. Wallen has 2 points. Sean Wallen has, oh no, he has no points. He has 2 fouls. And the second one goes in. 52-28 Amery. Ensminger, free throw line left, tosses it out and puts it in. Three-pointer for Elijah Ensminger, 17 points tonight. Thorsheim out to Carter Wallen. Back to Thorsheim. Out to Keaton Wallen. Trying to go up, strike. Manages to get it into Seth Wallen. Turnaround shot missed. Rebounded by Fisher of the Vikings. Fisher outside the arch, puts it up, bounces off the front iron. Ball gets loose. Pulled away by Keaton Wallen, and it is knocked away by Theo Hovde. And it's going back to the Vikings out of bounds.
Yeah, we saw that quick speed by Theo Hovde in football this year, too. He's got some speed. He went full length of the court and helped get turnover.
11:35 remaining in the ball game, 52-31 Amery. Ensminger across the timeline. Pulls up from the arch, shot blocked. And he is fouled in the act of shooting, so he's going to go to the line for two.
Ref says foot must have been on the line, so he'll be shooting two.
Feet were on the arch. Ensminger with a pair. First one bounces around and out. No good. And the second bounce to him, goes up. That one doesn't go either. And it's rebounded by Amery's Carter Wallen. He'll scoop it back to Keaton Wallen. He'll put it up off the window and in. 56-31.
19 points for Keaton Wallen.
Pass goes down in the near corner to Yerington. Three-pointer miss, bounced out big, and rebounded by Amery. Correction on the score, 54-31. And outside the three-point arch, Carter Wallen puts it up. Rebounded by Ensminger. Amery gets down the floor quick to set up. Ensminger at the free throw line, turned around from 16. That shot falls short, and it is rebounded by Danielson. That one missed, rebounded by Yerington. Yerington to Hovde. Hovde out on top to Nichols. Nichols in the lane, back out to Yerington. Back to Hovde. Hovde drives the right side of the lane. That shot off the side of the backboard. Amery bringing it up the floor. It's Carter Wallen, and he'll drive coast to coast for the layup.
15 points for Carter Wallen.
10 minutes left in the second half. 56-31 Amery. Elijah Ensminger at the Viking on the far side, right in front of the Colfax bench. Back up to Hovde, thrown to Nichols. Nichols, bounce pass to Ensminger, comes helping out. He was nearly falling to the floor. Good ball control. Has to kind of pitch it over to Hovde, and he'll nail it from three-point land.
Hovde's first 3 points of the night.
56-34 Amery. Carter Wallen into Keaton Wallen. Back to Anderson. Carter. Keaton. Keaton between the wheels. Colfax still in a man-to-man. Trying to match up with the Warriors. Anderson between the wheels. Back out to Keaton Wallen. Carter driving in from the lane. Scoop pass out to Danielson. And he travels. Logan Schwartz helped tie him up there. 8:44 remaining in the game, 56-34. Amery leading Colfax. And Amery would like a full timeout. 8:44 remaining second half. Amery 56, Colfax 34. You're watching Colfax Vikings Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
To get your lawn or garden to perform and attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm Crystal, one of Santa's elves. Santa wanted to talk with you about a special program coming up on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. But as you can see, he's pretty busy right now, so we better not disturb him. So I'll tell you what's up. A little earlier, Santa and I got together and picked out some of the very best holiday-themed old-time radio programs, and we're going to present them to you during Santa's flight on Christmas Eve. So tune in to the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN TV while Santa and I bring you the best in old-time radio. It all starts at 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. I'll see you then.
Welcome back to Colfax. The boys are trailing Amery 56-34. Aiden Fisher will get the ball into Ensminger. Ensminger allowed to bring it out of the backcourt. Ensminger to the left wing, drives the lane. Shot goes up, miss, rebounded by Amery's Carter Wallen. He'll loop around underneath on the right side. He'll toss it off to Anderson. Back on the mid-stripe to Seth Wallen, or check that, that's Thorsheim. Back to the free throw line to Carter Wallen. To Joey Thorsheim. Thorsheim out to Joey Thorsheim, back out to 22. That's Keaton Wallen for the three-pointer. It's 59-34. Amery. Ensminger, free throw line left. Ensminger out on the far side. Three for Aiden Fisher. And the official does a nice job of putting it through the net and getting the net unstuck. Yeah, that's right. Joey Thorsheim's waiting to get the ball, and we've got some substitutes coming in for the Warriors. Thrown into Strike. Strike then goes back to Keaton Whalen. Whalen being guarded by Fisher. Fisher, top of the key. Pass goes opposite side to Strike. He'll go in for a layup straight in from the right corner. And he's fouled on the way up by Mason Yarrington. So that's going to put Sam Strike on the free throw line for two. 7:19 remaining in the ball game. First free throw is good. 60 for Amery, 37 for Colfax.
Second team foul for the Vikings. Amery also has two team fouls.
Second one goes in. 61-37. Amery. Fisher up on top between the jump circle and the key. Give and go to Ensminger. Ensminger up from the free throw line. Good! Approaching 7 minutes in the ball game remaining. Stolen away, trying to go up for a shot is Aiden Fisher, and he's fouled on the way up, so he's going to get a pair of free throws.
Foul's going to be on 32, Sam Strike. That's Oh, they're saying 20.
So that's going to be 2 free throws for Aiden Fisher.
Falls on Keaton Walton.
First one, plunks on the front iron, no good. As does the second, and Amery comes up with the rebound. Keaton Woolen dribbling out of there with Fisher guarding him. Fisher driving in, looks up, or check that, that's Thorsheim now, got the pass. From the near corner, three-point attempt by Strike, missed, but it's reloaded or rebounded by Amery's Carter Woolen. He'll go up with a shot, and he's fouled on the way up. But he was not shooting, so it's going to the end line.
Falls on 15, Mason Arrington. His second. 13 foul.
Back out in the far corner, it goes to Thorsheim. He'll dribble it out on top to Keaton Wallen. And we have a 30-second timeout called by Amery. 6:21 left, second half, 61-39. Amery out in front. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV is excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School girls basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season. Our next game will be on Thursday, November 30th, when the Vikings will host the Bloomer Blackhawks. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking girls basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV on Thursday, November 30th.
Amery back with the ball. Thorsheim's going to throw it in for the Warriors. Into Keaton Woolen. Woolen driving down the right side of the lane, stopped, looks to go up, but will send it over to Seth Woolen instead, or check that, that's Thorsheim, and he'll drill the three-pointer.
Yeah, he has 5 threes, only one jumper.
Under 6 minutes left, driving for the Vikings, Fisher. Fisher out to Yarrington to Hovde. Back out to Fisher, three-pointer missed, falls into the hands of Seth Whalen. Excuse me, trying to save it from going out was Carter Woolen. And the Vikings will keep the ball on their end. 5:46 left, second half, 64-39. Amery. Alley-ooped into Ensminger. Ensminger across the 10-second line. Drives right side of the lane, goes up. Over the top, Hovde gets it out to Yarrington, puts it up for three, swishes it!
6 points for Mason Arrington.
Ball goes out to Carter Woolen. And he's fouled on the way in by Logan Schwartz, so he's going to get a free throw on top of that. 66-42.
Yeah, Carter Woolen's got 19 points.
So Carter Woolen will shoot one. And that shot falls short. Rebounded by Mason Yarrington. Pulls up for three, makes it! Might be finding a rhythm now. Coming up on 5, doubled up. Amery will break the pressure. Carter Woolen down the floor. Miss, shot miss. Carter Woolen will put it up. Fouled on the way out by Theo Hovde. Five minutes left.
15 foul. That's Mason Arrington's third.
Mason Arrington, okay.
15 foul on the Vikings.
Carter Woolen to shoot. First one in for Amery.
Carter Wallen, last year he averaged 27 points a game. He's got 20 right now.
And second one good as well. Driving in for Colfax, Fisher. From the corner, bounces it back to Hovde. Hovde gives it to Ensminger. He's near the half-court line. Ensminger throws it back in to Fisher. Fisher goes up, missed, but the reload good by Eli Ralph.
Eli Ralph,
68-47.
His first 2 points of the night.
And we're going to have a traveling call on that one. Carter Wolin charged with the travel. So Colfax will have it back in front of their own bench. Hovde tosses it into Yarrington. He'll look at a three-pointer, gives it back to Ensminger to set it up. Ensminger out to Fisher. Fisher fall away from 12. Missed. Hovde with a rebound. Caught too far under. Manages to get it out to Eli Ralph. Ralph comes in from the left side. He'll bounce it back to Hovde. Hovde for three. Makes it.
Theo Hovde with 6 points, 2 threes tonight.
Amery up the floor. Keaton Wallen now stolen back by Ralph. Ralph back down to Fisher. Fisher with a layup fouled on the way in.
We got a foul.
3:42 left, second half. Amery 68. Colfax 50. That foul's going to be charged to Keaton Wallen.
His third.
Yep.
14 foul for Amery.
First shot missed. Both basketball teams for Colfax play in Bloomer Thursday night. Boys at Bloomer, girls here. See them both on different parts of the Northern Light Webcasting Network. 6:40 pregame, tip of 7. Girls on NLWN TV and the boys on NLWN.
We have a foul. Foul's at number 4. Aiden
Foul
Fisher.
on Aiden Fisher. That is his first.
16 foul. One more, and Amery's in the bonus.
Throw in goes to Carter Wallen. Carter going in on Hovde, passes over the top of two Vikings. Down on the left baseline to Anderson, stolen away by Eli Ralph of the Vikings. Ensminger waits, pops it up and in. 68-53, Amery. 3 minutes, coming up on 3 minutes left in the ball game.
21 points for Ensminger.
Keaton Wallen will loop it around. Out to Blake Anderson. Anderson out to Carter Wallen, stolen away by Fisher. Fisher waits, puts in a layup.
This isn't over.
And Carter Wallen limping a little bit. Caleb Danielson brings it up. And we're going to have a foul charge to Colfax's Aiden Fisher. And Amery is now in the bonus, so he's going to go shoot 1-on-1. 2:36 left. Second half. Amery by 13 over Colfax.
Amery's 8 for 15 from the free throw line tonight.
Wallen checks out.
Shot missed and ball knocked away by Mason Yarrington. He'll get it to Ensminger. Ensminger drives the lane, pops it up from 10, missed. Ball tipped, rebound coming out of there to Keaton Wolin. Wolin double team, fired out to strike. Down to Carter Wolin, 3-point shot missed. Rebounds out big, it'll go back out on top for Amery. Keaton Wolin. Wolin out to Anderson. Anderson to Thorsheim. Down under 2 minutes to go. Out to Keaton Wolin. And we're going to have a foul charged to Elijah Ensminger of the Vikings. No. Looks like they're going to charge it to Hubdy.
That's Theo's second foul.
So Keaton Wolin shooting 1-1. Missed, rebounded by Caleb Danielson. Or check that, Hayden Fisher. Now the ball gets loose, coming up with it for Amery. Keaton Wolin. Wolin out to strike. And a foul charge to Theo Hubdy. That's his third. .139 to go in the ball game. Amery 68, Colfax 55. Ball tipped back out to Keaton Wolin. Cross-court pass goes out of bounds. Joey Thorsheim, the closest one to it. Hayden Fisher to toss it in for Colfax. To Yarrington, back to Fisher. Fisher across on the near side, doubled up, and we're going to have a blocking foul.
Yeah, Amery.
It's going to go to Amery's Keaton Wolin.
Amery has fouls to give yet. They have 5 team fouls.
Inbounds throw goes into Ensminger. Ensminger across the center jump circle. Give and go out to Yarrington. Yarrington for 3 misses, but up and in for Aiden Fisher. And we have a timeout on the floor. 1:13 left, second half. 68-57. Amery, you're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV is excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School girls basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season. Our next game will be on Thursday, November 30th, when the Vikings will host the Bloomer Blackhawks. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking girls basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV on Thursday, November 30th.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 are excited to once again be your host for exciting Colfax High School boys basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 basketball season.
This is what we came in for!
Our next game will be on Thursday, November 30th, when the Vikings will travel to Bloomer, Wisconsin to take on the Bloomer Blackhawks. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m.
And Amery in the backcourt with the ball, full court pressure by Colfax. Into the front court to Keaton Wolin. Back out on top to Carter. Carter back to Keaton. 55 seconds. And I have a foul charge to Elijah Ensminger. That is his second on the free throw line for Amery's Keaton Wolin.
10th team foul. He'll shoot 2.
First free throw, nothing but net. 69-57 Amery, 54.4 seconds remains in the ball game.
Keaton Wallen has 20 points so far.
Second one bounces out. Caleb Danielson there to pick it up. And we have a scrum on the floor, and Colfax comes up with the ball. Elijah Ensminger out to Hovde to Yarrington. Yarrington for three, back iron, no good. And Colfax turns it over to Amery. 36.8 seconds left. Amery up by 12. Inbounds toss goes to Colfax's Aiden Fisher. And it ends up going out of bounds. So Amery will try to put it in. Lots of pressure by Colfax. Doubled up in the backcourt, and Yarrington comes up with a loose ball. Misses the layup, rebounded by Carter Wallen. And
foul's going to be at number 10.
Have another foul on Elijah Ensminger. That is his third. That's going to send Carter Wallen to the free throw line. With 26 seconds to go in the ball game, his team, the Amery Warriors, with a 12-point lead over the host Colfax Vikings. First one no good. Danielson back into the ball game now as Strike sits down. Wallen makes the second. 70-57 Amery. Fisher tries to make a shot, knocked away by Amery. We're going to have fouls, or a foul, on Colfax. It's going to be charged to Aiden Fisher. That's his third. That sends Keaton Wallen back to the free throw line. 17.4 seconds remaining. Colfax boys at Bloomer Thursday night. First shot good. You can see it here on NLWN 2. Starting at 6:40 with Viking pregame. Second one rolls out, rebounded by Aiden Fisher to Elijah Ensminger. Fires it inside to Eli Ralph, puts it up and in. 5 seconds left. Amery gets it in, Carter Wallen. And that's the end of the ball game. So the Colfax Vikings fall short to the Amery Warriors by a score of 71-59. And the Vikings go to 0-2 on the season. So we invite you to stay tuned for our post-game show. We'll hopefully have a conversation with Mark Knoll. Tonight's Colfax Viking Boys Basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital at Drs. Austin and Nikki Pritchard, and their friendly staff take care of your pet. CNK Construction, your concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for doing business with them soon, and for bringing you Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
We've given back in a lot of different ways through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, find us on Facebook or www.danakelly.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in part or in whole in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network, LLC, and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame with a look back at today's game.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Time now for Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. And now, Viking Postgame.
Welcome back to Colfax. Tonight's final, the Amery Warriors defeat the Colfax Vikings by a score of 71-59. Vikings 0-2 on the season so far. Dan, let's take a look at the numbers.
Yeah, here's the scores for the Amery Warriors tonight. They're led by number 2, Carter Wallen, with 21 points. Followed by Keaton Wallen, he had 20. Joey Thorsheim had 17. We had Blake Anderson with 5, Sam Strike with 5, and Seth Wallen 1. For the Colfax Vikings, they're led tonight by number 10, Elijah Ensminger. He had 21 points, followed by Aiden Fisher with 14. We had Theo Huffdy with 6. We had Mason Yarrington with 9. We had Ryan Nichols with 4. And we had Eli Ralph with 4. So, 71-59. Amery.
So it looks like we may not have a coach up tonight, and we will try again on Thursday night when the boys travel to Bloomer. The girls will be here in Colfax hosting the Blackhawks. Both games tip off at 7. The pregame shows for both start around 6:40. The girls on NLWN TV and the Northern Light audio service. Northern Light Webcasting Service audio, and the boys will be on NLWN2. We'll also remind you before we go to start making your plans to tune in to either the Northern Light Webcasting audio service or NLWN TV for our Christmas gift to you 2023. We'll bring you the finest in Christmas-themed old-time radio programs. That's Christmas Eve, beginning at 7 p.m. on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. So, Dan, improvement from last week's game, as far as defense, but still, I think, trying to get into the swing of things. Elijah Ensminger and then the rest of the team.
Yeah, basketball is all about flow. Everybody's got to play together. Everybody's got to know what's going on, where everybody's supposed to be, and we'll see if they can get that figured out coming up.
All right. Well, we thank you for joining us tonight here. I'm Jay Fall, and along with Dan Petchaw, and our camera operator Chris Olson and executive producer Rick Olson. Thanks for joining us. Both Vikings teams taking on Bloomer Thursday night. Please join us. Have a good evening.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.